Hey, do you like Thomas and Friends? Do you like Thomas Wooden Railway? So, what are your thoughts on the change from Thomas Wooden Railway to Thomas Wood? Well, love it or hate it, Thomas Wood is here, and it has replaced Thomas Wooden Railway. In fact, Thomas Wooden Railway stuff has been cleared out. If you go to fisherprice.com and look at the website, we were able to get a lot of things at very deep clearance and very good prices. So, that was really nice to get the Thomas Wooden Railway stuff. And Mattel has made a lot of different products in the Thomas and Friends franchise. Some are very, very, very good. Some not as popular. But I mean, think about it. Trackmaster, really good. Thomas Minis. At first, I was like, who wants Thomas Minis? But that turned out to be something I actually did like collecting, and I think they've done a very good job with those surprise bags for Thomas Minis. And other things, the Take and Play. Now I know a lot didn't like the change from Take and Play to Adventures, but I didn't really see any problem with it. Now they did simplify things, and I think some people didn't like that. But overall, there's been a lot of good products. And while Thomas Wooden Railway is not personally my favorite that is in the Thomas and Friends franchise, I actually like the HO scale trains. Fisher Price, Mattel. They don't do the HO scale, but that's what I like. I also like the other model trains. But if you're going to tell me that the Thomas and Friends franchise can only have one type of toy, and keeping in mind that Thomas and Friends is something that really is for young kids, if you were to tell me, and if I was the president and CEO of the Thomas and Friends franchise, I would say Thomas Wooden Railway should be the toy over all the other ones that are out there. What do you think about that? You think I'm crazy for saying that? I think it's the most iconic of all the toys. I mean, you think back to making a Thomas model out of a wooden broom. That's where it all started. So I think Wooden Railway has been a really good toy. It's very durable, it's safe, and I think it's very popular, even if it's not something that you or I is our favorite. So Mattel has switched to Thomas Wood. Personally, I think it is not as good, and I don't like it. And a lot of you don't like it. And so I want to keep this video respectful and dignified. And I expect you to do the same in the comments below. Now let's get to the issue about why I am making this video. A fellow YouTuber, TWRaddict, that's Thomas Wooden Railway, sent me a link to a review that a customer did on Mattel's website. In the review, the person was unhappy about the Thomas Wood. They didn't like it, and they did complain about the price. And of course, Mattel states in their guidelines for reviews not to discuss the price because, customers should not talk about the price. Well, they say because the prices change over time and it's not really a good indicator or whatever. Just the corporate speak that they give there. And so their reply to this review included a link to customer service. Well, when you clicked on the link, it took you to a news article from Fox News from 2012 about teenage finances. And I was like, I cannot believe they did this. So I'm going to try to keep this as factual and on the point. So I did that. I saved it when went to QuickTime, saved my screenshot when I went to this. I couldn't believe it. I think it is petty. I think it was snarky. And I think it was intentional. Now, it may have been a lone employee that did this at Mattel. But basically, they were like saying that you need to be more responsible with your money, and you're probably a teenager and not an adult. I don't think the person that left this review was a teenager or a kid. I think it was an adult. But regardless, I think it was very disrespectful, and I think it shows that Mattel doesn't care what you think. Now, that's my opinion on that. The facts are they did put the link to a news article talking about teenage finances, and those were either really old teenagers or really young teenagers.
Wow, really old teenagers from outer space.
in the picture in that news article, by the way. And anyway, so I didn't like that. I'm glad I screenshotted it because they did change the link later, and I did tweet them. And it was shortly after I tweeted at Mattel that it changed. No, they didn't respond to my tweet, but I think somebody caught on to it and they changed it. So it may have been a lone employee. And I got to be completely honest. I've had nothing but good customer service when I've had problems. For instance, I've bought many TrackMaster products over the years, and I've had a couple of them that the Thomas model was missing the drive rods on one side of the wheels, and I contacted, I think it was Fisher Price subdivision of Mattel. They sent me a new model out right away, no questions asked. So great customer service. I've never had any customer service issues with Mattel. But I think Mattel is doubling down on this Thomas Wood. I know there's been a lot of backlash in the community. A lot of you have told me in the comments of the videos where we've done Thomas Wood that you didn't like it. Now, some have said they liked it. And that's okay. It is all right to like Thomas Wood. I'm not saying everybody should hate it. If you like it, that's great. Hey, comment below why you like it. In my opinion, and this is totally my opinion, they've changed. They're trying to be environmentally friendly, and they state that all over about how the wood they're using is different than other wood. I don't know what it means, but I think knowing how big business works, it really comes down to safety and money. I don't have 25 cents. I think that the design is easier, cheaper, less expensive, obviously, to make, and that's why they've chosen to go to that design. That's why Diesel 10, we did the video where we got Diesel 10, he was so small. He was smaller than Annie and Clarabelle. As I sound like Mr. Haney there for a second. But, so, I think it's just an effort to cut down costs. I don't, every person that I've physically talked to and showed them the two choices between Thomas Wooden Railway and Thomas Wood, they've always chosen Thomas Wooden Railway over Thomas Wood. So I'm thinking about what I want to do is get a video response from some of you to send to me or to tag me in about which do you prefer. Like, I love Thomas Wooden Railway, if that's the way you feel, or I love Thomas Wood, or I wish Thomas Wooden Railway was still here and not Thomas Wood. So I'm thinking about doing that. I got to still kind of formulate all that, how we're going to do that. If you want to send me a link, I'll try to get an email where you can send that to me, or you can post a video and let me know. But I just was shocked at that response that Mattel gave to a reviewer who had a negative review of Thomas Wood. And I think they have gotten some backlash from people. I think a lot of YouTubers that make videos of the Thomas Wooden Railway, Thomas Wood stuff, Thomas Toys in general, Toys channel. I think a lot of, and see, this is, as I'm babbling on here, bear with me. I think in the YouTube scope, people are really here just to make entertaining, fun videos. And so when you get into these type of editorial, complaining type videos, they're not really popular on YouTube, so people try to avoid doing them. So I don't do videos like this very often. I usually state when I get something whether I like it or not. And I try to be honest. If I like something, I tell you I like it. I mean, I liked Emily that the Hornby trains made, and a lot of people hated that because it wasn't true to the show. But hey, it looked like a good model to me, so I liked it. So, I'm not afraid to share my opinion whether I like something or not. But I think in trying to keep things positive and upbeat for kids, I think sometimes people will gloss over things that really they probably shouldn't be accepting if they truly don't like it. Because I think if you, deep down, you don't like something and you tell everybody how great it is and how fun it is, I don't think you're being honest and fair to the other consumers. But everybody is free to make their own choices. So even if somebody says they like something that they really don't like, in the end, it comes down to the bottom line, whether you like it or not, and if you are going to buy it. So that's some things I was thinking. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What do you think of Thomas Wood? And will you be buying it? I mean, to be honest, that is the best way to tell Mattel that we don't like Thomas Wood, is by not buying it. So I've made the mistake. I've bought several. I've bought some of my favorite characters. I always have to get Annie and Clarabelle, Diesel 10, Rosie, Thomas, Percy, things like that. Caitlin, and Connor. But where's the paint? I, I think they've simplified it. I think it's easier the way the printing is done on these, that it's just easier and cheaper for them to do. And yet we didn't see the reduction in the cost of these by them doing that. Anyway, tell me what you think below, and we will see you in the next video. I am Joseph. The channel's Trains Are Fun. We like trains, even if it's not Thomas. See you guys. Bye.
Joe! Joe, I just found a note. Joe!
What do you know?
Hello.